Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second of the semifinals here for the Demacia division in the Coalition League's summer split. Random Minion Caster, and we've got DoV Chaos, first seed of the Demacia division, finally stepping into the playoffs against Prismatic Esports, who won a tough game, against Glacial Omen in the quarterfinals to make it thus far. And on the blue side, it's going to be DoV Chaos here for game one, with SSJR in the top lane, Sonic Abs in the jungle, Dolphin Judas in the mid lane, Dolphin Judas in the ADC position, and Plagued Keeper as support. On the red side, it's going to be Prismatic Esports with Just Storming in that top lane. In the jungle, it's going to be E-Substitute Noise, who did play for Vengeful Reapers here. In the mid lane, Mickey Mouse for the win. So I'm using his ADC and LHE Dark Prince as support. And because of the use of E-Subs here for Prismatic Esports, they will be losing 2 bans, which it looks like they've opted to use in the second pick and ban phase here. So without further ado, the pick ban phase for DoV Chaos, they're banning out the Darius, Wukong, Anivia, Nocturne, and a Mumu. So a lot of attention being paid to the mid lane and to the jungle here. Interesting choice to ban that. Mumu is one of Noise's more played solo queue champions, but we don't actually see it. We haven't seen it that much here in the Coalition League. He's been playing more aggressive junglers here. As for Prismatic, they're banning out the Volibear, the Rumble, and the Jarvan as well. So they're paying attention to the jungle as well of Sonic Abs. They do lose their 2 ladder bans here. Now in terms of picks, DoV Chaos going with a more split sort of composition here. They've got themselves the Mordekaiser for the top lane, the Lovers bot lane in that bot lane there, Corki for Judas in the mid lane, and Zac for Sonic Abs in the jungle. And it's an interesting composition. They do have a bit of a mixed bag. They've got a bit of catch, they've got a bit of AoE, they've got a bit of poke as well. Looking more like they're looking for just individual dominance here, winning out the lanes 1v1, 2v2. An interesting choice of that Lovers bot lane, because it actually was Prismatic last week. So I'm using an LHE Dark Prince, securing themselves that bot lane to find wins in the quarterfinals. As for Prismatic, they're picking themselves Shen in the top lane for Just Storming, Hecarim in the jungle for Noise, Galio in the mid lane for Mickey Mouse for the win, and it's going to be the Kaisa, and that's not a Fiddlesticks, that's actually a Nautilus here for Prismatic. So it's a Kaisa Nautilus bot lane here for So Amusing and Dark Prince, and now they have a very different composition. They are looking for that AoE team fight here, the full 5v5 massive skirmish. They also have built themselves a bit of a global composition with that Shen Stan United for Just Storming, as well as the heroic entrance for Mickey Mouse for the win in the mid lane there. And with the Hecarim, with the Nautilus, they have very easy ways of getting those globals into the midst of the enemy team for a potential 5-man taunt or a 5-man knockup from that heroic entrance there. Really solid composition, and they are going to be relying a lot on So Amusing as well as Noise to be sort of the carries here for their team. And we actually did see last week for Just Storming, if you do give him a carry, he can actually seek to carry from that top. But the fact that they're going to give him Shen instead means we probably won't be seeing a lot of action out of Just Storming in that top lane here. And Mickey Mouse for the win with that Galio does tend to win out early, has a lot of pressure against squishy mid laners such as Corki. But once Corki hits 6, once he does unlock his missiles there, it's going to become very, very difficult to really pressure Judas in the mid lane. So I am expecting DoV Chaos to get the advantage here in their lanes here and sort of take advantage of that. Try and look to snowball, try and get themselves ahead. And for the side of Prismatic, their key to winning is going to be getting their bot lane ahead or looking for ganks with Noise here. And we've seen Hecarims really take off in the league thus far. Yes, they have lost, but it's become sort of a bit of a priority pick in the jungle. And if they can get ahead, they can really take over games in the mid to late here. Noise opting for Flash Smite here, so not the Ghost, not the Ignite. He's probably looking for better positioning in the mid game rather than early fighting and early dominance. We do see a bit of a 3-man pressure evade here into the top side of Prismatic's jungle. They're just getting wards down. It is going to be matched by Noise on the bot side, who gets a ward into the Raptor pit here. So they will be able to track where the junglers are going to opt to start here for both sides. And that's going to be very, very beneficial for especially DoV Chaos. If they can track Noise, Hecarim does have actually some really strong early ganks as well. Zac, on the other hand, not so much. And Just Storming actually gets an aggressive ward here onto the blue pit as well, so definitely will be able to spot out. Will know Sonic Abs will be starting bot side as well, and that's again very, very typical here for both Hecarim and Zac here to start sort of on their bot side, look to try and influence the top lane. And if Sonic Abs can get a good gank, we can really see SSJR take over with this Mordekaiser in the top lane for now. And it really will be on DoV Chaos to look for sort of leads in lane, look to dominate the Shen Mordekaiser matchup. They're looking for very, very different things. Shen can just look to sort of farm up, hit 6, be the influence for his team here with that Stand United to sort of just look for things. But bot lane, Dark Prince already going aggressively in. The Dredge line hits and Plague Keeper are going to be forced down to about 40% right away. And this is going to give the side of Prismatic a lot of lane pressure here. They're just trying to zone out Dolphin in the bot lane right now. And we have seen some Rakans be extremely, extremely aggressive. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Plague Keeper going to be the one. And it's kind of hard to do that into that Nautilus early here. Rakan does struggle a little bit into the hook champions. And now Dark Prince and So Amusing are level 2. They're looking for an easy, early, and aggressive invade here. And a Dredge line comes across. It's going to find Dolphin. Dolphin going to get absolutely chunked. They still have not hit level 2. But the wave now has pushed in. They will be kind of safe. They have to be careful though. Another Dredge line connecting could spell a kill into the bot lane here. And it is going to be Prismatic finding themselves an early lead down here in the bot lane. This is great for them because So Amusing will need to be a huge carry for them come the mid to late game in these fights. Noise extremely low as he takes down his second major buff here, the red buff. So we probably won't see an early gank coming out of Noise for now. And that is going to leave Just Storming on the isolated lane against SSJR. He's doing just fine for now, but we could potentially see a gank coming out of Sonic Abs towards that top side there. Just the CC he brings down can make it very, very hard. Give SSJR an opportunity to look for an early kill here. And mid lane thus far, Mickey Mouse not really pressuring Judas very much in that mid lane. He is keeping up in farm, which is good enough. He does have that melee into range matchup, so he has to be careful. If he can't apply that all-in pressure, he will slowly get whittled down by Judas here. We do see Sonic Abs looking for the gank. The slingshot comes in. It does not land. Mickey Mouse with a beautiful Justice Punch. That drawback working great for himself. Noise coming back out of the jungle is healthier now, but will not find anything. He's just going to run right through the mid lane here. The fact that Sonic Abs already backed off going to be good, and he does have an advantage in terms of experience and camps for now. But Sonic Abs going back into jungle should balance that up very, very quickly here, and it will be just fine. So not a lot of action here in the early phase. Everybody just content to sort of farm it up. Bot lane the only one with really any kill pressure, but you already see Dolphin and Plague Keeper here have already healed themselves back up quite a bit, sustained themselves up. So we'll probably be fine for now. We would likely won't see a potential kill into the bot lane unless we do see some minion stacking going on, and looking like we won't really see that as both sides just pushing out as fast as they can. Now Sonic Abs looking here, a beautiful grab into the slingshot. Can Just Storming get away? No, he can't. He's going to go down. First blood to SSJR, and that's going to be huge here for DoV Chaos. If there is a lane where they do have a mismatch, where they can look to sort of look for those early leads and just take over the game, it is that top side with the Mordekaiser Shen matchup there. And Just Storming opting not to get the teleport, was looking for the ignite for pressure. It's going to hurt him a lot here. There's a huge wave crashing in with another one coming up. So Just Storming going to lose a wave and a half here by the time he gets in. Noise looking for a gank in the bot lane, but Plague Keeper and Dolphin backing off wisely there. I'm not sure if they actually saw him on a ward. I think they might have here because they backed right off, did not have to blow anything at all. And that is Noise, unfortunately, coming up empty-handed on his gank into the bot lane here. It was a nice attempt. LHE Dark Prince gonna clear this one out here. So there is no more ward, and we'll have to see if Noise opts to come back in, because Dolphin and Plague have sort of been pushing out in this bot lane quite a bit, using these AoE feathers to sort of shove waves out. And again, this being their win condition bot lane, they themselves having the stronger bot lane they could look for, but it is actually going to be So Amusing and Dark Prince going back to base instead to go spending some of that gold here. And mid lane, we do see another gank. The flash from Judas, very, very preemptive flash there. Did not want to get caught. Does still get knocked into the wall, but that flash going to make sure that Mickey Mouse not able to land the taunt. And he will be safe for now. And is able to just reply back. Will get hit by the Justice Punch. Is there a taunt to come out? Yes, there is, but he's close enough under turret. Judas going to be forced to go play passive here. He is very low. Probably would benefit from going back to base for now. But he's opting to stick around. Has to be careful. Noise, not quite level 6 yet, but he's about halfway there. And it is going to actually be DoV Chaos putting the moves onto this first Drake. So Amusing going to check it with that Kaisa W. They know it's being done. Dark Prince not landing the Dredge line, and it's going to be the heroic entrance. Sonic Abs able to pick up this one. Plague Keeper getting taunted. He's low, will go down. Dolphin here as well. Can they fire back? They do manage to fire 1 for 1. It's the supports going down, and now Noise has arrived. And the burst from that Hecarim, extreme here, even without that Onslaught of Shadow, will force the flash out of both Sonic Abs and Dolphin. So it is going to be a 2 for 1 trade, along with the Inferno going the way of DoV Chaos. Prismatic debatably winning that one out. I mean, Inferno, extremely strong Drake here. Both teams more than happy to get it, and it will scale up. So I think it is a bit of a loss here for Prismatic. And the second Drake is going to be that Cloud Drake here. 10% cooldown reduction. Not the biggest of Drakes, especially if you aren't able to stack it here, but it still will be nice for whichever team can get it. And we do see now SSJR teleporting back into that top lane. Just Storming now 6 has to stand united, so we might see a bit more cross-map plays here. We already saw how strong that heroic entrance was, but now Just Storming and SSJR trading around. SSJR has to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage here from the minions. Is trading back quite well onto Just Storming, and no Ignite for Just Storming right now. He did use it prior, so he does have to be careful. SSJR's health bar is quite deceptive here. That shield from Mordekaiser can just pop up and negate a lot of damage, and he does have the sustain as well, so will be just fine in this top side. We can continue to expect to see SSJR winning this 1v1, and it will be more of a question of where those stand uniteds come down, how Just Storming can look to influence other places on the map here. And that kill there, that fight for Mickey Mouse was absolutely huge. That heroic entrance getting him those knockups, the kill and assist as well, and now it does give him the lead in lane, which he was struggling a little bit, the melee into range matchup. Like I said, we have seen Galio's sort of get advantages in the early game a bit. With that sort of all-in, they do a lot of base damage here on the spell, so pre-6 can do quite well in lane for himself, but Mickey Mouse wasn't able to find those, so him getting the kill, getting the assist with that revolver now in his pocket, as well as 3 stacks on that Dark Seal, will do extremely nice for him here. Just a bit more advantage. Bot side, the engage onto So Amusing. Can they find the kill? The Ignite, there's no Ignite for them, but the damage will be enough. It is actually going to be the exhaust ticking up here, and the flash is not really available. Plague Keeper still has it. Mickey Mouse looking for the engage. No heroic entrance, so he had to teleport in. He gets the taunt onto Plague Keeper here. They have a lot of CC, and he is kind of squishy, but a good dash away going to keep Plague Keeper safe for now. He does not even have to burn that flash. And meanwhile, we did see Sonic Abs looking topside to reciprocate a gank up there instead, but Just Storming able to get out. A nice taunt from him, a nice dash away as well, keeping him safe. Noise was thinking of going up there, but will not find anything because Sonic Abs disengaged after the failed gank there. And it's going to be DoV Chaos coming up with another kill here, and they're up about 800 gold right now. It's not massive here, and it's mostly sitting here in that top and bottom lane. Sonic Abs looking for another gank on that top side, and again that taunt, that dash keeping Just Storming safe here. And he is down about 25 CS. It is a sizable amount in this top lane here, but that's all Just Storming has to do, is not die for now. He will scale up. He will bring a lot of utility into the fights. And now Sonic Abs getting collapsed on by 3. Can he get away? He's going to dash out. The Ignite being used. It will not be able to take him down. Will not even pop his passive. And that's well played from the side of DoV Chaos. They're not losing much here. And they are burning a lot of time, a lot of resources. And this is going to give Judas some time into the mid lane here. He will be able to get down that first turret plate for himself. So a bit of gold into his pocket here. And Mickey Mouse for the win, having to walk back for now. Does still have the heroic entrance, so we could potentially see yet another gank or assist into the other lanes. No, he's just going to do the Herald here. Look to get himself a major neutral objective and look to sort of get that Herald to pressure a lane. We'll have to see if he does drop it immediately. We have seen that quite a bit. And just storming right now, taking a lot of damage, is dragged into the death realm. Can he survive here? There's nowhere for him to run. He flashes away, but SSJ are able to pick up that solo kill. And that is that pressure we see from Mordekaiser a lot. And sure enough, Noise dropping the Herald immediately into the mid lane. He's looking to pressure there. The Valkyrie being used from Judas here. He will be able to take Shelly down, but Shelly does get the charge. That's a bunch of plates going the way of Noise and Mickey Mouse here. Doesn't really help to close the gap too much. They are still down about 1,000, just shy of 1,000 gold right now, because SSJ are in that top side, just pressuring away after that solo kill. And really that lack of a teleport right now really hurting Just Stormin here. That Ignite not able to help him get a single kill thus far, and instead we see him being shoved out of lane repeatedly. The Cloud Drake has spawned, and it is going to be Prismatic picking up the scuttle here, and Sonic Abs now getting potentially collapsed on. He is going to have to flash away. Heroic Entrance coming in will not find anybody. That is a major teamfight ultimate down, but that is Sonic Abs extremely low, and Prismatic now looking to get priority onto this Herald here. SSJR is back in base. No teleport available. The Stand United for Just Storming is, though. So if they do opt to pick this fight here, they will be down in terms of numbers. And that Cloud Drake being shredded down. It's down to about 1,000. Can Sonic Ab steal? No. It's going to be Noise picking this one up. But Noise going to go down in the midst of that. Dark Prince soon to follow. Stand United coming across. It's going to be so amusing. He was not under fire. The shield has worn off now. It is a 3v4. And it is a lot of damage coming out of Dolphin. Those feathers doing work in the AoE. Judas able to just free fire as well. He's just pumping out the damage, and that might be an ace here from the side of DoV Chaos. Dark Prince is back up as is Noise, so it won't be considered an official ace, but they do manage to find 5, only losing Sonic Abs there. They do ultimately lose the Cloud Drake, but should be able to pick up this turret here in the mid lane potentially. They do have both their ADCs far away on it. Dark Prince is coming up. Dredgeline not able to connect on anybody. And can he defend this? He looks like he will be able to, but they are going to lose to the 3 plates onto this mid lane turret. So still a nice chunk of gold going the way of DoV Chaos as they now double their lead. They're up about 3.5 thousand gold, and a lot of that going to be sitting here on Dolphin Judas. He's 5-0-2 already right now, and on a Xayah, that can be absolutely massive. Xayah, not exactly considered a late game hyper carry here, but in team fights with a full crit build can really pump out damage across an entire team, and that's going to be absolutely devastating here for Prismatic, because their team comp is one that wants to go into that full 5v5 massive team fight. And with a fed Xayah, they are going to have their hands full trying to survive the damage that can come out. The Essence Reaver and Zerker's Greaves already completed here for Dolphin in that bot lane. And you look across the Soul using his lane opponent, he's down about 1,200 gold here. It does have the Manamune starting to stack, which is going to be absolutely huge for that Kai'Sa, but will be in a bit of a power trough for the next little while here till he can sort of build that Rage Blade that we normally see come out of Kai'Sa's here. And now it looks like the turret plating has gone down. They are looking to get their first turret of the game. DoV Chaos able to pick up that mid lane turret for themselves here. That's some more gold. That topside turret extremely low as well. And SSR, a 2-level lead up in that top lane, should have no problem just bullying, just storming there and getting themselves yet another turret. And I like this adaptation. Judas was going down with Dolphin and Plagued Keeper. It looks like he will back up, but they could have potentially sieged that up. Judas now level 11 here with the ultimate, that Missile Barrage here. It is the level 2 ultimate as well, so he can very easily siege up these turrets and look to just claim those sort of free shots here. And now Sonic Ab's going to run into Noise in that 1v1. Noise able to put out a lot of damage, but Sonic Ab starting to get a little tanky here. Just has the Cinder Hulk for now, but with SSJR there to back him up. That is not a fight Prismatic wants to take. They did also drop down wards here. You see Judas looking for potentially a flank, and he's just waiting for Sonic to clear this one out. Is he gonna do it? No, they're looking for the dive straight away because Just Storming was taken low. The grab back, can they find it? SSJR tanking up the turret. He will go down. So it is a 1-for-1 right now. And Judas, what are you doing? He got feared into the turret. The CC is solid. That's a 2-for-1 right now. And Noise playing around the turret beautifully here, knocking Sonic Abs back in. And Noise able to survive this. They get themselves a 2-for-1 on a failed dive in that top lane. I think SSJR pulling the trigger a little bit early. Did see Just Storming getting low. And that is a good trade back from Prismatic as they managed to keep their top lane turret standing for now. Solid and well played here. Sonic Abs now running into that mid lane. He's just trying to clear out the minions. Wants to catch this wave crashing in here. Will be nice for him to pick up some level, some CS. And he does need to keep up with Noise here, who is now level 10 to Sonic Abs level 9. And will still be a little bit behind. The nice thing about Zach is he is a tank, so even if he does fall behind a bit in levels, it's okay. He's looking more for these team fights here. And he does have strength in his side lane, so will be a-okay falling a little bit behind. We do see Soul Music showing up into the mid lane, though. Hasn't quite shown himself yet, and that's a good thing because we might have seen Dolphin just pressure in. Instead, he is just going to run around. Now is spotted out by that pink ward there. And that's why we see Dolphin shoving up. But Dolphin backing out because Plague Keeper did go back to base. He doesn't want to get caught alone. He is fairly fed, but right now, Soul Musing has sort of balanced that out. He did just come back out from base with that pickaxe here. So we'll be just fine. And Noise taking advantage of this to go for this Herald. The Mountain Drake is spawning in 5 seconds, and it looks like DoVC is prioritizing that Drake here. They're going to give up that Herald while they set up. They want to get themselves a mountain. And while a single mountain isn't much, if you do stack that up, it can become extremely strong, especially on champions like Mordekaiser and Zac here, who do build rather tanky. We'll have quite a bit of resistances as well. And we did see the Herald going down to the side of Prismatic. Where are they going to drop it? Looks like they're looking for the mid lane once again. They want to pick themselves up a first turret. They want to just crack open the map. And that mid lane turret is the best place to do it. The most valuable turret in a way here because it does open up the bulk of the map. And topside SSJR looking. Can he finally get this turret? The minions are trying to take it down. It's less than 100 health left. SSJR could just walk up and take this one here. But he's still opting to just sort of pressure Just Storming. And now Sonic Abs into that mid lane. Noise on the side, but with the appearance of Judas, they're going to back out here. They don't want to fight this one. Judas is fairly strong right now, has still not completed his first completed item. He did start the tier for that mana stacking, and he's got the components here of the Trinity Force, but it's not completed. As long as that's not completed, Judas's damage not going to be as high as it otherwise could be for now. And despite DoVC having really strong lanes, they've actually kind of stalled out a little bit here in the mid game. It's almost 20 minutes, and it certainly doesn't feel like it based on the pace we usually see from Coalition games. And as the game goes out, it's sort of an interesting thing. I do think DoVC has the stronger late game, but we do see now SSJR going up there, the Death Realm, and Just Storming getting dragged further and further out. Sonic Abs in the area to back up. He's actually going to steal that kill away, and they're looking for Engage to flash away from Dark Prince here, but it is going to be the depth charge coming out, and Plague Keeper brought it over. Dolphin ends up getting hit by it. Noise looking for the gank as well, and Judas has arrived. Plague Keeper extremely low, will go down to the Hecarim Lawnmower, but Dolphin able to pick that one up on the backside. Judas did manage to find Dark Prince as well, and now we finally see the heroic entrance from Mickey Mouse, and it's doing work. He manages to find two. It is going to be SSJR dead. Now Dolphin trying to run away as well. Winds of War able to pick that one up. It's a shutdown for Mickey Mouse, and he comes out huge with that heroic entrance as they trade 3 for 4 here in favor of Prismatic Esports. And that's great for them. Sonic Abs did opt to stay in the top side, continue pushing. He doesn't have a teleport to join the rest of the fight. And we do see now a teleport from Mickey Mouse as well, looking to collapse in onto Sonic Abs. They've realized that he's gone now, but it's likely that they won't be able to spot him out. Sonic Abs trying to steal that red buff, will not be able to find it. And meanwhile, Soul Music in that bot lane, as a result of that bot lane fight win, did manage to pick up the outer turret as well. So the turret score even for both sides right now, with Prismatic having a bit of an advantage on the bot side, while DoVC has a bit of advantage on that top side here. And this really does sort of give Prismatic a bit of an edge. The more the map is unlocked here, the better it is for them, because they do have those double globals here. So they can really... The the bigger the map right now, the more beneficial it is for those globals, because they can appear in places quicker than DoV Chaos and really turn the tides of these fights. And while Prismatic does have sort of a team fight composition, I'm not sure that they do want to team fight right now, because Dolphin is so strong. 6-1 and 3 here. Now topside SSJ are getting collapsed on by 2, but that is a Mordekaiser. It's always super risky, and they don't have enough damage. That's Dark Prince and just storming 2 tanks here, and Dark Prince dredge lining himself into the turret, is going to get dragged into the Netherrealm almost immediately here. Is going to take some turret shots, and SSJ are just able to pick that up. A big team fight starting off in the mid lane. Dolphin does go down, and with him dead, you can see the strength of Noise in these team fights. The Hecarim here, along with Mickey Mouse's taunt, just keeps them in the AoE. They easily find a 3-for-0 in the mid lane as well, and this is going to give them the mid inner turret. That's going to be absolutely huge for them. Judas opting to just stay in that bot lane, continue pushing out. They get all the outer turrets, but it might not be worth it, because Prismatic is now knocking down their inhibitor turret in the mid lane. They can't stay for the inhibitor, but that is the entirety of this mid lane. You can see how long it is here right now, with all the mid lane turrets down for DoV Chaos. I mean, I did say opening up the map is favorable for Prismatic, so being able to shove in this far, just completely split the map right now for DoV Chaos, is a huge benefit and bonus for them. And this is just the strength of the Hecarim in this current meta here. We don't see him a lot in pro play, but he's extremely strong. Punishes mistakes hugely here. And we are seeing sort of the damage-oriented Hecarim here with a Trinity Force coming out now for Noise. Means he's going to be able to find Dolphin and Judas that much easier here. He can shred down those damage carries, and they're essential for these fights. DoV Chaos is relying very heavily on Dolphin in these team fights to pump out the damage and to win a lot of these 3v3s, 4v4s, 5v5s here. And Prismatic now did even pretty much a smallest of leads right now in terms of golds, and that basically translates to even team fights for now. Prior, they didn't really want to pick the 3v3s or the 4v4s or the 5v5s. They wanted sort of numbers advantage, but right now they can comfortably look for the 5v5. And Judas starting up the mountain here is actually going to reveal that they are sitting in this bush, because you can see it's targeted onto SSJR right now, and it's now doing damage, and they've actually decided to start this one up. Stand United is available for just storming. He's going to keep on pushing this top side till the fight gets called here. SSJR zoning people out. He's 4-2-1. He grabs Noise here, and he's getting damage, but it is going to be Mickey Mouse coming in. He gets a 3-man taunt. The fight is chaotic. You see a whole bunch of damage. Heroic entrance coming in will not actually land, and it is going to be Dolphin and Judas staying alive. Dolphin did go down there, but Judas was able to pump out AoE damage as well. Now only So Amusing left alive. This is going to be an easy ace for DoV Chaos, and they just managed to pump out the damage while So Amusing was getting zoned out. Mickey Mouse and Noise just getting popped fairly early on. Mickey Mouse using that heroic entrance meant that throughout that fight he wasn't putting out damage, and the fact that it didn't even go off, he couldn't even land it, that's huge, because what should have been a massive 5v5 ended up being a 4v5 for the bulk of that fight there, with Noise just getting shredded immediately, Mickey Mouse not contributing. And then So Amusing just can't pump out the damage there. So well played from DoV Chaos. And they're the ones looking like they're winning the 5v5 for now. They crack that inner turret. They get themselves a second Mountain Drake as well. And they're just stacking up these resistances here for SSJR and for Sonic Abs. And Plaguekeeper was absolutely huge in that fight as well. The sheer amount of AoE CC he managed to put out bought so much time for Dolphin and for Judas here, and that allowed them to pump out the damage they needed for these team fights. And the Kai'Sa being short range is starting to show its disadvantage here in these team fights, because So Amusing spent so much time just trying to survive, get out of those CCs which came down early in the fight, that he really couldn't pump out the damage too much. They did manage to kill Dolphin, which is key to these fights, but Judas as well. Corki, known to be a bit of a poker, but does have a lot of AoE damage with those phosphorus bombs, with those Gatling guns just going off in the fight. And now he's got the Mira mana as well to Triforce completed. He's going to be able to pump out lots and lots of damage here, just able to constantly those autos with a lot of those abilities to empower them with the Trinity Force is going to be an issue as well. Can't let him free fire here. And there's also a bit of lack of tankiness right now on the side of Prismatic Esports. Dark Prince has built that Zeke's there, Zeke's convergence there, which does sort of benefit a little bit, but that's not a ton of tanky stats. And you look over at Just Storming, he's got the adaptive helm as well. You see the abyssal mask here for Mickey Mouse. They've got a lot of MR, not a lot of armor here, and that's allowing Dolphin to shred right through them. Judas as well. Now we do see the slingshot coming in from Sonic Abs. He's going to cancel it because that turret's already down. So Amusing able to take that one out. And Prismatic, despite losing the team fight right now, they're actually up turrets for now. And so Amusing, choosing a dangerous back position, will be able to get it off. DoV Chaos not thinking to check that one, and they've got dominance on this top side. They have not cleared out the Baron, so I don't think they'll be starting that one up. And just late on the rotations, we'll have to see what they want to do here for themselves. And I do think DoV Chaos does scale a little bit better with that Corki, with that sort of Tier and Trinity Force Tier Sheen sort of build. Corki does scale up extremely well into the late game, can get a lot of damage, and can just sort of look to poke out fights. As well as Dolphin on this Xayah now has the Infinity Edge completed as well, starting to build towards that attack speed item. And once you see that third item come out for Dolphin, you're going to see a huge spike in his damage in these team fights here. He will be able to get a lot of AoE damage out, and it will come down a lot to whether Noise can can sort of find the right targets. But it looks like it's going to be DoV Chaos pulling the trigger on the Baron right now, and Plaguekeeper just clearing out the wards. I don't think Prismatic know it's being done. No, they think it's a trap. You saw the Kaiser W come out, and this is going to be Baron heading the way of DoV Chaos here. Great timing from them as they clear everything out, get themselves the Baron, and that's going to put themselves in the driver's seat for the next little while the Baron buff is active. Let's see what they can get here. They do still have options, inner turrets here in the top and bot side they can take, or they can just look to try and force and crack that mid lane inhibitor as well. And it's, in a way, it's kind of doubly worse for the side of Prismatic Esports, because DoV Chaos not only have the Baron now, but they have the better siege composition. They have the Corki here. They've got a lot of disengage as well. And Mordekaiser sometimes doesn't get enough credit in siege situations, because that claw is absolutely massive to catch out people. If he can land and pull one person out here, they can potentially just burst that person down, get a numbers advantage, and then just look to force a 5v4 fight under a turret here. And with the Inferno to boot as well, will give them that bit more damage when they're sieging up here. 4% is not a lot, but it certainly does add up with a lot of those missiles coming out from Corki. And it looks like they're opting to go down towards that bot side. They're going to shove up the minions here, and Just Storming on that top side with the Shen doing what Shen does best. He's going to split push. He's going to try and alleviate pressure. And he could potentially look to sort of get a turret for himself as well, because it looks like DoV Chaos is dithering around. They want to try and get the turret here. Dark Prince extremely low. That missile, he's lucky it wasn't a big one, or he might have gone down there. Now Mickey Mouse just getting poked out a little bit for now, and that's going to be the Mountain Soul going the way of DoV Chaos. Noise coming in though. He's looking for that last minute. He does actually manage to get the steal here. That's going to be huge for his team. Can he get out? He's playing Ring Around the Rosies with SSJR now. He's waiting at the very edge. Can he get out? Maybe he can. The Ignite is not going to be able to take him down. And Dolphin having to flash over to get the kill there. Well played from Noise as he buys a crap load of time, as well as wasting all that time they spent setting up. But So Amusing has to be careful. He's going to have to flash away. Did not respect the fact that the entirety of DoV Chaos was coming in. And that's going to be a siege now into the mid lane. The minions here are a ways back. And DoV Chaos not opting to walk them in with that Baron buff. Baron buff does actually speed up minions' movement speed. So by the time they arrive, quite a lot of time in total has been wasted for DoV Chaos. The setup for the Drake, the fact they didn't get the Drake and now having to wait for minions. We see Mickey Mouse going in. He gets the taunt off, but is that really what he wants? Because they're more than happy to fight this outside the turret. He's getting shredded down. The Stand United coming out will not complete here. The shield comes down, but Shen is going to be left deep inside the enemy territory there, right outside the Baron pit, and that's going to be the inhibitor turret going down. The inhibitor as well going to follow here for DoV Chaos. And that's the problem with landing a multi-man taunt right now as Galio for Mickey Mouse. Is it good? Yeah, sure it is, but you don't have any armor really in his build right now, so Dolphin just shreds right through him. Not to mention, without Noise, without So Amusing, you get the taunt off, but they were going to hit you anyways if you stepped out from under turret. And normally the taunt is there more to stop people from going after your carries and to let your carries get damage off freely and safely there without your carries being present. Taunting like that is just allowing yourself to take free damage, and that's why we saw Mickey Mouse going down. Dark Prince as well, not tanky enough either, looking like he's trying to build into that Gargoyle Stone Plate, but just not enough resistance, is not enough health to really make that worth it for now. And SSJR and Just Storming finally meet up once again in that 1v1. It's been a while since they've actually fought here, and Just Storming doing a really good job. He has managed to close that sort of experience gap here for himself. Still is down CS, but it's not going to be as evident right now. Now Noise looking to that top side. SSJR in a bit of a scary position. He's going to instantly drag him into the death realm. That's just going to buy time, though. We've seen this song and dance before, and Noise able to just, if there's any terrain, he can just run around the onslaught of shadows. Just a bit of CC. He's going to take down real low. Will be able to survive for now as the rest of his team manages to collapse and pick up SSJR, and that's going to be a kill. But is there going to be a counter cost here? We do see Judas looking down to that bot side. He's got a minion wave here. Dolphin about to join him, and they're going to look to be able to try and take a turret for themselves here. And between a turret and a kill, I would take that turret any day of the week here. As we do see the inner turret going down for Prismatic here. And it feels, I'm sure in game right now, it feels like DoV Chaos is really, really far in the lead. They're the ones sort of dictating the pace of the game. We look at the gold, it's only a 6,000 gold difference right now at 30 minutes. It's just above 10% actually in terms of the gold differential. So it's not, or sorry, now it's only 5,000. So it's not huge, it is about 10%. And 10% when split over across the items is not that big a deal. You can actually see that in the item builds right now. SSJR does have a lead. Dolphin actually not really much of a lead right now, has the Phantom Dancer, Essence Reaver, and Infinity Edge, has a lot of damage. The QSS built out as well. And you contrast that to So Amusing here, who's also got 3 major items completed: the Gwinsus, the Nashers, and the Mira Mana, as well as the QSS. They're pretty much dead even right now, so they're not really seeing a huge item lead for either team. So it's more an issue of Prismatic just not confident right now, thinking and feeling like they're behind. And you saw that they could collapse and kill SSJR. They do have to be careful in these team fights, though. They've not actually been winning the 5v5s here. They've been struggling to sort of layer their CC perfectly here. And with the fact that the Gatling gun, the phosphorus bombs, and a lot of Zaya's auto attacks do sort of cut through a lot of people here in these team fights, hit multi-targets, it's huge, and the taunts aren't as effective, the CCs aren't as important, and we do see now DoV Chaos going for their second Baron. They're just absolutely shredding it. Look how fast Nasher is getting killed there, and that is going to be the second Baron of the game going to DoV Chaos again. And Prismatic just had no vision. If we take a look at the vision right now, they only had a little bit of Dragon. That's literally it. They don't have enough vision at all. And when you contrast that to DoV Chaos, they've got the vision in the appropriate areas. We do see SSJR showing up from behind, but he actually just walks through Dark Prince and So Amusing there. They were trying to catch Noise, and it is going to be Prismatic a little split up right now. Noise just sitting at the red, and it is now the Dragon spawn. Both teams looking to try and get themselves the Drake here. It is So Point. Now the onslaught of shadows coming in for Noise. Is he going to be able to survive this? We already see the Zaya ultimate being used, and that means it will not be available for the taunt. But look how much damage is coming out. Just Storming gets shredded. Mickey Mouse already low, and SSJR had no problems going toe-to-toe with Noise here. Mickey Mouse already did, and So Amusing now getting caught out. The QSS not going to be able to be used. It can't cleanse knockups, and it's only Noise left alive running away. Judas on zoning duty here, while the rest of the team go and pick themselves up a soul with Baron, and they could look to just close this one out. Death timers right now about 40 plus seconds. It's going to be a while yet before Prismatic can come up. There is the minion wave as well. Sonic, Abs, and Judas just walking their minions in, and they have more than enough AD damage right now. Double ADCs here. And Corki of all ADCs can very, very easily proc that Trinity Force. They've already shredded one Nexus turret down, the next one as well. Noise coming in for the hero play. Can he find anything? No, he can't. He's going to get instantly shredded right now. And Dark Prince coming up in 1 second will be just in time to watch his Nexus explode there. And DoV Chaos showing why they're #1 seed. Yes, they did end up dropping a game at the end of the regular season, but hey, they're still #1 seed for a reason, and they pick an easy game 1 off to start their best of 5 semifinals here. And a lot of that did sit on the top lane and the bot lane, the side lanes here. Dolphin Judas ending the game 10-3 and 11 here. That Livers bot lane coming in real strong. They did struggle a little bit in the six levels here against that Nautilus Kai'Sa, but they really started snowballing and they really shined here in these massive team fights. Zaya, an absolute team fighting monster, and SSJR in that top side as well. 8-3 and 7 drew so much pressure, and to a certain extent, we've seen this before. Just storming on a tank does struggle a little bit to sort of have impact in the game. He's great in terms of the team fights. Yeah, he can get the multi-man taunt. Yeah, he can get the Stand United off. But he loses so much pressure in lane that I'm not sure it's worth the trade-off here. And a lot of times, unfortunately, they just couldn't quite find the ganks in the top side. Noise did not gank early, and that just let SSJR sort of get ahead. If you are going to pick just storming a tank, I think you need to make sure that Mordekaiser's off the table. Because Mordekaiser's obnoxiously difficult to gank post 6 with that Realm of Death there, constantly just making it a 1v1, and if he does find a lead, that's going to be an issue. So I'm looking to see either the Mordekaiser ban or just storming put on something that has a bit more lane pressure as well. And as for So Amusing, I mean, the Kai'Sa pick, yes, it is a decently strong pick. It's not necessarily tier 1 ADC right now, but it has a lot of mobility, but it's just a really risky pick into this much AoE. It's pretty short range. I'd like to see So Amusing on something a little safer here so he can get the damage out, and we'll have to see if that is what Prismatic opt to do here in Game 2. As for DoVC Chaos, their composition worked out. There's not a lot of synergy, but there's a lot of just strong power picks here, and hey, don't fix what ain't broke. So I don't think DoVC needs to change anything for Game 2. And with that, we will be heading into an intermission break here to set up for Game 2. And we'll see you all in a couple of minutes, so stick around for that.